It's a great question, one that many have struggled to answer. Though, apparently not as much as my dad struggled with monogamy. I asked my mother once, and she said, what your father and I had before he cheated and ran off with your 19-year-old babysitter. At least now I know why she kept hiring teenagers. It was market research for Dad's midlife crisis. At that point, I wish I'd never brought it up, but I pressed on anyway and asked my father about love. He said, love is what my wife and I have. Really, Dad? The woman's literally sizing up her next wealthy target like she's at a luxury car dealership, and you think you're in love with her? I guess I've always wondered, what is love? Baby, don't hurt me no more. Sorry, had to. From the first romantic film I ever watched, Notting Hill, I've been curious. You know, the movie where a millionaire actress falls for a bumbling bookshop owner? Very realistic preparation for adult life. What must it feel like to actually be in love? My best friend Kellie says love is walking through a field of wildflowers with happiness in your heart. This coming from the woman who calls her husbands, well, let's just say she's not exactly complimentary about certain aspects of their relationship. Apparently his enthusiasm outweighs his equipment, if you know what I mean. I'm starting to think she's talking about somebody else she's seeing, and I definitely shouldn't have said her name live on this podcast. Kellie, if you're listening, surprise! You're famous now. Please don't kill me. Although knowing this episode could ruin her day almost makes up for that tiny slip. I went to a museum once and saw a portrait of a couple in their garden. The husband seated and reading, the wife hanging clothes on the line. Very romantic. Nothing says I love you like gender roles from 1843. That looked like love, right? Wrong. I made the foolish mistake of researching the couple afterward and discovered they both died of sepsis. So basically, their love story ended because 19th century hygiene was about as reliable as Tinder matches. Not exactly the domestic bliss I'm searching for on this journey to understand love. I suppose my ideal of love is Chandler and Monica from Friends. Yes, I'm basing my relationship goals on a fictional couple from a 90s sitcom. Judge me if you want, but at least they had a rent-controlled apartment. He's sarcastic, she's neurotic, and they laugh through their problems together. Plus, they prove the friend zone is just a waiting room with really good snacks. They handle issues with lightness, love, and unwavering dedication to each other. That kind of love felt real to me. Something I could genuinely connect with. Unlike my parents' marriage, which felt more like a true crime documentary waiting to happen. Kellie, before she met her current husband, tried dating sites. Her bio literally said, looking for love, which apparently translates to available for disappointing hookups. Sure, they won her plenty of dates, but nothing ever lasted more than a night or two. Turns out Netflix and chill means exactly what it sounds like, and there's surprisingly little actual Netflix involved. She found herself used and discarded, coming to the slow, painful realization that love doesn't exist on dating apps. Real love exists in the real world, where there are no phones acting as shields, no selfish motives lurking beneath the surface, just pure dedication to a shared journey. And also grocery shopping together, which is the real test of compatibility. But maybe love isn't something you find fully formed. Maybe it's something you build. Like IKEA furniture, except hopefully with clearer instructions and fewer leftover pieces. Maybe it's not the grand gesture in the rain or the perfect portrait in a museum. Maybe it's the small, unglamorous moments. Someone remembering how you take your coffee, staying up with you while you're sick, or choosing to work through the hard days instead of running when things get tough. Or just someone who doesn't judge you for eating cereal for dinner 3 nights in a row. I'm starting to wonder if my confusion about love comes from looking for it in all the wrong places. In my parents' broken marriage, in Kellie's contradictions, in century-old paintings of people I'll never know. Honestly, at this point, I've consulted everyone except a magic 8-ball, and I'm not ruling it out. Perhaps love isn't a mystery to be solved or a destination to reach. Perhaps it's messy and imperfect and different for everyone. Kind of like my dating history, but hopefully with a better ending. So here I am, still searching, still asking questions, and recording them for strangers on the internet. Because apparently I have no sense of privacy or self-preservation. Maybe one day I'll have my own answer. One that doesn't come from movies or museums or other people's experiences. Until then, I'll keep looking, keep hoping, and keep believing that somewhere out there, real love exists. And when I find it, I'll know. Hopefully before my mother sets me up with her book club friend's niece, who has a great personality.